What you're reading is a passage from the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. It's an apocryphal gospel. They don't have it in the Bible. I don't know why, but the Bible is meant to tell you the truth, right? But some passages, some gospels are removed because they don't want you to know. Because if you would know about the truth, I guess the churches might lose their power. I don't know about why it happened, but the fact is that this Gospel of Mary Magdalene was removed. So someone showed me this passage, and so I've now put it up on this video. And I want to explain to you what it meant. Mary answered and said, "What is hidden from you, I will proclaim to you." And she began to speak to them these words. She said, "I saw the Lord in a vision, and I said to him, Lord, I saw you today in a vision." And he answered and said to me, "Blessed are you that you did not waver at the sight of me, for where the mind is, there is the treasure." Verse 10, I said to him, "Lord, how does he who sees the vision see it? Through the soul or through the Spirit?" The Savior answered and said, "He does not see through the soul nor through the Spirit, but the mind that is in between the two. That is what he sees the vision, and it is." You know, friend, everybody says that they can see themselves. No doubt. But when you see with your eyes, you're not really seeing the me. You're only seeing a physical body. If you want to see the me, you have to see in between. That's what verse 11 is emphasizing. That's right. Now, you can use the word soul or spirit, but these are definitions. They're not important, really. The important idea is that with the eyes, you really cannot see. You have to see in between. That's the important point. I've often told you that you must learn how to observe your own thoughts. That's right. Why are you observing your own thoughts? Because the observer and the thoughts are two opposites. But there is an in-between. So that's why you must see in between. But it's not really seeing, It's not really seeing. Because in between, there's no eyes to see. So that's the hard part. And a lot of people waver. That's right. That's why it mentioned in verse 10, when Jesus was saying that you did not waver. When you see the me, you have a tendency to waver. With that wavering, your mind jumps to another thought. And as a result, you're not seeing at all. You have to observe your thoughts, and in between, I call it the breath that springs up from within me. And in between, I realize the me. A lot of people cannot find it, simply because when they read this kind of verse, you know what happened? They would adore Jesus rather than adoring the me. When they read this kind of verses, they would idolize Jesus. And they would think that Jesus is talking about himself as God. But actually it's not true. What Jesus is saying is that if you can discover me in yourself, you can discover me in everyone. That's what Jesus is saying. So Jesus was actually telling Mary in this passage that blessed are you because you have seen me. If this is the first time you saw my YouTube, press subscribe so that you can hear more of the secret of life. You see, what I tell you right now is actually a secret. to realize me is a secret. I pointed to what is in between the two eyes, right? So many people would say that that is the third eye. I purposely did that. Actually, in truth, I was referring not to the third eye. I was referring to the in-between of the mind. The spiritual part of life is very metaphorical. And so if you want some kind of image, some kind of solid item for you to hold on to, you have to think of it as a third eye. But it really is not that. It's in between the mind where you can see the me. It's a secret place. And I've talked more about this observation of thought in my previous video. And if you like to, you just can skip through to my previous video. This journey that I'm making is a personal journey. And in this personal journey, I understood the secret of me, which have brought about fantastic abundance in my life. I spoke about it too in my other videos. That's right. It's not just abundance in spirituality. I'm a very rich man, if you are thinking of wealth. Because once you get me, you get everything. That's the truth. Some religious people will tell you that I'm religious, but I don't have anything with me. I can tell you that it is not a true saying. Why? Because living in this world is about living with everything that is around you. It's not just about me. It's about the world that I lived in. So if I am living in this world in scarcity, then something is wrong. Isn't that right? Living in this world is truly living. You're participating with the affairs of the world. How to manipulate the world in such a way that whatever you ask for, you get. Gosh, that's true. I'm not telling you a lie. It is something that has taken place in my life I'd like to share with everybody. But the problem is that everybody has got an idol in their mind. They believe in some Jesus, they believe in a Savior, they believe in gods and goddesses. You don't have to do that at all. You don't have to, because everything is right here within you. You're not exactly a human being. You are from beyond. That's right. God bless you.